Hey guys, I'm Edge. Welcome to the UGC Australia New Zealand Season 12 preview. With me, I've got Nanokip, Soggy, Dramz, Star Viper, and Knight. And pretty much during this podcast, we're going to go through a couple of teams that are playing in Plat this season, a couple of maps are happening, and also talk in general about Highlander this season. So before going ahead, I'm going to introduce the guys I have with me. Firstly, Nano. Hey, Nano.
G'day, Edge.
G'day, Nano. How are you, man?
Pretty good. How are you feeling, Edge?
I'm good,
You ready for
man.
this podcast, buddy?
I'm pumped for this podcast. So for the guys that don't know Nano, Nano's in my team as well. So that's VD. Nano's a backup engineer, and off topic, but I saw the value of engineer a night ago, which might pop up a bit later. Um, Sorry, a bit of an in joke there. Next up, we've got Soggy Bread. Soggy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself, sorry?
Good, Soggy. Soggy, of course, being on SAS's engineer from last season. Already two engineers. Drums, please tell me you're not an engineer as well.
I do play a fair bit of Engie, yes.
Sweet. Drums is an engineer. How are you, Drums?
Beautiful. Excited to be here.
Excited. I'm pumped and excited. Hey, Star, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm feeling a little out of place because my engineer credentials are not quite up there with everyone else here. So
It doesn't matter. I don't think you can be a worse engineer as I was. I caused my team to lose around, and we haven't done that in a long time. That's how bad of an engineer I am. So, yeah, you can't be worse than I am. And finally, we've got Knights. Hey, Knights, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Edge?
I'm good, man. So, guys, I guess the first thing we're going to talk about is season 12. Is it the fifth season in Australian Highlander or UGC thing?
something like that. Yeah, I know it's at least the fourth.
As the numbers would suggest.
I
Because you
think
guys
it's
started back in season 8, I think, and you've been winning since then. So it's at least 4 seasons, and one of those was a short season back in season 10. So still counts though.
yeah. So looking at like about 4 seasons in Australia, it's picked up quite a bit actually. I think first season they had about 16 teams. This season we're looking something closer to about 40-ish teams. And
Yeah, now that we've got so many teams, we actually have divisions now. So I don't know if you mentioned it, but we're looking at the platinum teams, which is the higher up teams, and then there's the steel division, I think it is, which is the rest of them. So we've only got 2 at the moment, but yeah.
yeah, it's probably the biggest change that we have seen in the Australian scene, guys. So this season we've got 2 divisions. We've got Platinum, which consists of about 10 teams at the moment, might be 12 by next week. And we also have a Steel division, which is more of the newer teams coming into Highlander, or a few guys that decided, hey, I'm gonna off-class the season, try something different. So should be good. Should be good this season. Anything new, guys, you've seen this season besides that?
No, I mean, it's one of the really exciting things about Ozfortress, at least not right now, but recently, or I guess suppose recently as well, because OzHL League has come back, and we're just coming off the back a few months ago of the community league they had for Highlander, and I think that's going to be a seasonal thing, so that'll be back again at some point. So, you know, they're changing things up for the Highlander scene, and I don't see UGC doing much else. Not to say that it's not still fun. It's just, you know, same, bit of the same, but yeah, it's not all bad.
But I guess the one thing that does change every single season, and a big incentive to be playing UGC, is in fact the medals that we do receive at the end of the season. I think that's a big motivating factor, and NA, I guess, doesn't really affect us too much, but North American Platinum this year has a prize pool they're playing for as well. I think they're aiming for about $5,000, so that's something pretty big for them, and in the future we might get something similar in Australia depending on how we grow, to be honest. So a few interesting stuff in
Yeah,
the horizon.
yeah, you do also get medals for HL and stuff and all that as well. Um,
Has there been
but
any update on last season's medals yet?
yeah,
I
I
was
was
gonna
about
say, are
to.
we getting those?
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna
So
say.
I believe we
Val
are.
hasn't put them in the game yet, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to the admin last night and he just said that they'll be coming out as soon as Valve decides to add them, so when
Yeah,
that happens,
UGC is
we'll never
pretty
know.
good on this normally. Like, once Val does put it in the game, it takes them about a day or two to distribute. But Val working on Val time, I'm not too sure when it is going to happen. So just gotta hang tight, I guess, and hope for the best. Alright, guys. So I want to quickly move on to our next slide, which is about maps.
Yep.
Maps.
And
Yeah.
the-
So we'll get Nano. Nano, could you go through this map list that we have here?
Okay, sweet. So, for a preseason map, which I assume most of you have already played your preseason game, if you are in UGC, we have PL Barmbrit's Pro 4. Do you want me to go through the entire list and then we can talk about each map individually?
Edge isn't. He's pressing his button, but he's not
He's
making
pressing
any
his button, but
sound.
he's not making any sound.
I'm gonna assume he's saying yeah. Just go through the
Go
list
for it.
and
Go
we'll-
for the
Okay.
whole
Yeah.
thing. My bad.
So, preseason, we got PL Barmbrit's Pro 4. Week 1, we have Koth Lakeside Final. Week 2, Return of Gravel Pit. Week 3, we've got Classic Upward. Week 4, Coal Plant B7. Week 5, Process. Week 6, Borneo. Week 7, Steel. Week 8, Swiftwater. And then for our 3 playoff week maps, we got Viaduct Pro, Gully Wash, Badwater.
Coal plant. What is that?
Yeah, I've
Uh,
never heard of that map.
That
It's
is
a
basically.
reskin of CP
yeah.
or Koth Asheville from. I think
Oh,
it's been in
Asheville, nice.
previous seasons, but
It's not just a straight up reskin. There's a
It's-
few
yeah,
changes, but
it's
it's
a bit
pretty
more
much the
spacious.
same.
A few tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen from the pictures as well, it's slightly darker.
Yeah.
More for
Yeah.
ominous tone to the entire map, but it should be good. I mean, Asheville was perceived quite well as a map, I think, for Highlander. Um,
I actually really like Asheville.
it's a nice
Yeah, it's a
sort of
good
cloth
map.
I think Coplant's better than Asheville, honestly.
I can't stand Asheville. I screamed it like 4 million times, and now just hearing it is just like, nah. Happy I'm not playing this season.
I guess one surprise I do have that in terms of Koth is why exactly Arctic isn't there? Because I know Arctic is quite a popular map. I think it suits Highlander
I
quite
know,
well.
right?
Um,
I know, especially for ZD and Love Arctic's like the best map for us.
yeah, it's a pretty good map.
A,
I
su-
think.
a surprisingly high number of Koth maps this season, actually. Usually we don't see as many compared to, like, Payload, but we've got Lakeside, Coal Plant, and Viaduct Pro this season.
I would say there's an incredibly high amount of CP maps in there. I would love to see CP just gone from Highlander altogether.
I think it's that like a lot of Sixers players have started to join this the Highlander area. So I guess it's good to see them being familiar with a lot of their maps when it comes to Sixers. So
But I do have
Cool,
to
yeah.
agree with you there, Star. I mean, personally, I've not been a huge fan of CP in Highlander. I think maps such as Steel do work to an extent. Whether or not they're actually perceived as a good map by different people is debatable, but it does work in Highlander. CP in general,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like playing sixes on Badwater. It just doesn't work for the format, in my opinion. It just should be taken out.
It's cool to see Borneo's come in. So that was our pre-season for the last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, Borneo was preseason last season. The preseason map for last season. It's a really nice looking map. I think it's right up there with your looks of Swiftwater to be one of the best looking
Yeah,
maps.
Cool
But,
to see a custom map in there.
Yeah, it's quite good. I think
Yeah.
like UGC's been experimenting for a while in terms of what maps people actually enjoy. I remember there was a survey at the end of last season going, "Hey guys, tell us what maps you actually like." So it looks like they kind of have listened to it. There's a few maps that were there last season that have been taken out, thankfully. But yeah,
I
still
know.
still some work to do, I guess, in terms of possibly the order. Maybe Boundwood a bit early on.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
what do you guys
thankfully-
think of the whole best of 3 maps, like for the grand final?
I still think that's the most effective method we have. And I think the actual maps we've got, the map choice is actually quite good. So it really lets you get kind of a range of, what you want to play in the final. And it actually keeps it interesting instead of just being like, spamming the same maps over and over.
are there any maps that are banned from the grand final? Because I remember back in season 9, like CTF Haunt was just completely banned from grand final because everyone hated it.
I believe that was because CTF Haunt was a poor excuse for I don't know what it was, to be honest, but it was a horrible map. It just did not work in Highlander. It was scattered play, not too much strategy to actually link to it. So
Remember,
Probably the
Edge, someone put
reason
a
it's out.
lot of effort into making that map, and they're gonna cry now that you've said that.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
Truth hurts.
Chuck a couple of tracks in there, chuck a payload cart in there, and I think it's an amazing map. But until that's done, I just don't see this working as a competitive Highlander map.
It's cool to see a couple of sixes maps being brought in, like Process and all that.
I'm not really sold on. I'm still not sold on Process as a Highlander map. To me, it feels a lot like trying to play Granary in Highlander. Just doesn't work. Like, Process is a great map. It's a great map for sixes, but I don't think it's a good map for Highlander at all.
I think I agree
At
with
least-
that. It's
Just think on the bright side, at least there isn't. Is it Badlands that has Spire in it? So
We
you
always
don't
want
have
more
like a heavy
Spire.
and an NG on Spire.
I'd love to
for
see a
Highlander.
Highlander match where you got a heavy trying to climb Spire and that'd be
Just
horrible.
set up a level 3 on Spire and park the bus.
Park the
Sounds
bus for
beautiful.
a lovely 30 minutes. Or was it the Europeans that don't have a time limit on their matches?
No, they have a time limit.
Have a
I'm
time
pretty
limit?
sure there's time limits all around.
Oh, okay. Someone doesn't have a time limit in sixes, and if they use the exact same thing in Highlander, I'd love to see that go for a couple of days.
As far as I know, it's only King of the Hill that doesn't have time limits. That's just like the rounds.
So, any more last comments on this map list before moving on, guys?
No,
Steal!
no CTF. There's no
Yeah.
CTF.
No CTF. I think no
Which
CTF
is
is a
good.
good thing. It would be interesting to get a new.
2 forward.
No, I'd be putting, like, I don't generally like CTF and I'm pretty glad it's out there, but if I was going to put Win in, I'd be up for putting Turbine Pro in there. But that's probably the
Yeah,
only one.
Turbine Pro. Turbine Pro is like the only really good CTF map that you can make work in any sort of competitive environment these days.
The only problem I kind of found with Turbine Pro is you park your NG last, you sit a heavy there, and it just depends on which team has a better scout and Solly. If your Solly can jump all over the place, or your scout is just a DM machine that can take on 6v1s, then you're gonna win that map. It relies a lot on just one or two classes rather than the team, so that's the only comments I have on that.
Still surprised Steel's in there. I've never liked that map in Highlander.
No one really likes it, but it's probably in there just because it's such a unique map design, because the strategy behind it really pushes the teams. 'Cause-
Steel's a great map.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I never liked it at first, but I can appreciate it now. Alright guys, moving on. So we're gonna go to our first team. First team of the night is 0%. 0%. So these guys aren't the same 0% that we probably seen maybe, was it 2 seasons ago? So for those of you guys that are a bit unfamiliar with the Australian scene or just joined it, 0% 2 seasons ago were a really strong team. Possibly the top 3 teams Australian Highlanders produced, but they came second that season. But these guys, none of the players are actually from 0%. I believe they do like the name though, so that's why they kind of named themselves 0%.
This team was actually, when it was first brought together, is it Jay that's in charge of it? Because he told me they were just going to call it Superstars Resurrected.
Yeah, Jay is in charge of this team.
And I think Superstars Resurrected is a bit more meaning, I think, to the name.
Not
compared to
resurrected,
the-
but they were just going to, make it the new Superstars.
Oh, okay. Well, Soggy, since you were on SAS last season, do you want to go through this roster quickly?
Oh, sure. On Scout, we've got Pain, Tall is on Demo, Jahos is on Medic, Dubious is on Solly, Telex on Heavy, Pope on Sniper, Jay on Pyro, Son of Jaws on Engineer, and Zoid is on Spy.
So pretty interesting that I think, was it Pain, Dubious, Jay, and Zoid were the players that were on SAS last season, so you probably know.
And Pope.
Minus Dubious.
Minus Dubious.
We had Jay and Zoid. I think that's all.
So SAS
Out
last
of all of
season,
them.
of course, doing really well. They came second last season. But a few people missing this season. Losses of Snowblinds, GR, Logic, Faith, and a couple more people probably is going to push these guys a bit down on DM. But at the same time, they got some really good players in there. I think the guys you mentioned earlier from SAS, they have experience already in Highlander. I think all of these guys actually have played before, so it should be good.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I
I
feel
look
like...
forward to seeing how these guys work together, because you've got some. I'm not
Big-
saying that some people are really bad and some people are really good, but you've got some big names in there, and then you've got some people who have just been playing around in the Highlander scene, and we'll see how they work well together, really. Because Pope was also known as, oh, who was he?
Citizen. He was known
Oh,
as
he's been
Citizen
known
for a while.
Yeah, because he used to play in Verve.
Yeah,
And
he
then
even
he
used
rage
to play in
quit.
SAP back in the day.
And
I'm pretty sure he went
Boris.
from Verve to SAP.
Yeah, because he used to just have to go to dinner at like 5 o'clock and we'd just be like, oh, okay, in the middle of a scrim. So I think that's why he stopped Highlander for a while, and now he's back in.
Yeah, it's good to see people coming back.
So Pope no longer needs to eat dinner. He's back in the Highlander, guys. This is
No
good.
dinner.
But Pope's probably one of your better counter snipers, I think. He's the type of person that can shut down another sniper on the other team, so that's going to be quite beneficial, especially seeing how good snipers we've gotten in the Australian scene in general, to be honest. Other players in there that I do think are going to do a little work. I think Toll's got some experience in Highlander. He played Div 6, I believe, last season, but recently got an offer to play from a Div 1/2 team, so he's improved a lot over the last year or so. Expecting good things from him. Payne and Dubious, both of them have Prem experience under the belts. You expect them to do quite a bit of work, being Scout and Soldier. And Zoid as well, being on Sass's roster last year, along with Jay, should be pretty good support for these guys.
Yeah, it definitely looks like quite a solid team.
Who's Telex?
Telex, I believe, is a Div 2 player. I think he's won Best Util Div 2 before, if my memory serves me right. So I'm not sure how good he is at heavy, but at the same time, he is a scout in sixes, so his tracking shouldn't be too bad. And if
It's
he
from one
can
extreme to the
off-class-
other.
Yeah, so it should be good. They've got a lot of big names. I think they did quite well against us on Monday when I was playing engineer off-classing for some reason. They actually won a round off us before I switched out and was like, Nano as our backup engineer, play engineer for us, and
You learned a lesson today, Edge.
I learned a
A
lesson.
valuable lesson.
I learned a lesson. They capped Barn Blitz in about 4 minutes when I was an engineer. When Nano was there, they couldn't cap second, so engineer and Highlander is important, and I'm going to concede that. Unfortunately, it's a sad day for Edge, but just putting it out there.
Bruh.
Next
Alright,
time.
next team. Next
Hey,
team
it's
is Anzac,
Anzac.
actually. So, who wants to go through Anzac? Knight, do you want to take Anzac?
Is that me?
You cut out there.
Mm? Yeah, I think you said night.
Sorry,
Yes.
Oh,
my
let's
go
internet's
with
bad.
Knight.
Knight, could you take over Anzac?
Yes, it is. So in Anzac, we've got Skinny on Scout, Azure on Demo, no Medic currently, Wilcor on Soldier, Durzo on Heavy, Fonz Sniper, Shindogo on Pyro, Jimbo on Engineer, and Laurencio on Spy. Looking pretty solid.
They've had some swap arounds.
A few swaps in there. Anzac have been around for a long, long time. Probably the oldest team that in this season, I think.
Yeah, they've been around since before UGC or like even OzHL existed in Australia.
Yeah, one of the first Highlander teams. They kind of set the bar early on for all the newer teams that kind of joined the Highlander scene. But since then, they've been quite consistent. I think they've come either third or fourth every single season of Highlander so far. So if history repeats itself, they should do quite well this season.
To be fair, they don't have a rostered medic at the moment, but they haven't had a stable medic position for like the past 2 seasons, if I'm remembering correctly, so it's not a big deal, really.
And they put their scout on sniper. Was Skinny their perma medic last time?
I think he was. He
So
said
then they
some-
put the medic on scout.
I'm pretty sure he was playing medic for like the first half of the season, but then yeah, I don't know. We played them a couple of games near the end of the season, and they were struggling to find a medic, and they had different people every time, so...
Yeah.
And they've changed around their Demo and Sniper. I'm pretty sure they had Ryan on Demo and Jamie on Sniper, didn't they?
Yeah.
Started last season. So Ryan, I think, is taking a break from TF2. He's left the Sixers team that Anzac have as well. In terms of sniper, I think Jamie left quite early last season. Probably didn't have too much time to play.
They do have Ducky on their roster, so she might be playing around on sniper every now and then, I guess.
Yeah, but you know how Ducky is.
Yeah, that's true. She did say she was quitting comp, but
The other
guess
thing
not.
is they also have Keys on their roster, and Keys is possibly or one of the best snipers
Oh
to play
god.
Highlander. So if Keys gets a couple of matches with Anzac, he will destroy, absolutely
How,
destroy.
how does Keys size up to Kieran? How do they go against each other? Are they like,
That's
would
actually
you
quite
say
interesting
equal or?
because last time Keys played against Kieran was for the All Stars match for the first ever season of Australian New Zealand Highlander. In that match, Keys actually outsniped Kieran, but since then Kieran's been playing a lot more TF2 than Keys. So if Keys does come back and can regain form, it should be quite even. But if he's a bit rusty, I think Kieran's a bit better right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Keys play so much.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure if Keys was still playing TF2 anymore.
Yeah.
Because he was
Last
around,
time I-
obviously was around a lot during the first season and sometime after that, but then he sort of faded, disappeared.
Last time I played with him was on the State vs State Highlander tournament.
Which is a shame, really, because I remember back in the days where Keys was in Sniper, you just can't touch that cart. It's just your head was flying off everywhere. Good stuff. Good if you're on his team, not so much if you're on the other team. Looking at the other guys, though, Dezo's been really solid on heavy. I rate him as probably one of the best heavies this season. As in all the other seasons, he's just really consistent, always doing damage, and along with their support classes in Shin and Law, both of them have a lot of experience in Highlander. Both of them know exactly what to do, so it should be a good season. They have really good chemistry as a team. They've been playing it with each other for a really long time now, so expecting good things.
Definitely.
Alright guys, we'll move on to the next team in this case.
Body Shot Gaming.
Body Shot Gaming, ooh. Who wants to take over Body Shot Gaming? Star, do you want to go through that?
Yeah, sure. JMH is playing Scout, that'll be intense. Sato playing Solly, good Solly. I've seen him play. Red Hawk on Pyro. Tycoon's playing Demo, that'll be pretty good. TSTM's playing Heavy. I don't know how he'll be on Heavy, but he's a pretty good player otherwise. Hero playing Engineer, Days playing Medic. I'm gonna say he lives up to his name when he plays Medic. Elmo on Sniper, good Sniper, and Bread playing Spy. I don't know how he's gonna do on that. It's pretty alright,
I'm
Isn't
really
this
liking
X-Men's
BSC's
team?
roster this season. They look quite strong.
Yeah, they do look like a solid team. I remember my first ever time playing Highlander, JMH was playing Scout, and I just got absolutely destroyed. He was just rocking the Criticola, just destroying us.
JMH
Very
is
solid
probably
scout.
one of the oldest scouts to be playing TF2 in Australia. He's been around since ages and ages. I think he probably played TF2 since its launch date. He's won Best Scout in Oz a couple of times, maybe around 2007, 2008. A lot of experience on Scout. Zato on Solly. I think, Nano, you probably should tell us a bit more about Zato.
Yeah, I've played with Zato quite a lot over my history of playing this game anyway, but yeah, Zato's actually always been I think he's a very solid soldier player, and obviously he's got very good bombs considering he's one of the well, in my opinion, one of the most well-known jumpers in Australia. But he's been playing soldier for a couple of Sixes seasons. I remember playing with Liquid a couple of seasons ago, but yeah, I think he's actually definitely one of the players to watch out for on Body Shot Gaming, but yeah, I think he'll have a good season.
So how would you rate Zato as a jumper compared to, let's say, Rain?
That's not even a fair comparison, mate. At this point, Rain's probably the best jumper still playing the game in the world, but I'd put Zato up maybe like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Considering all the time he spends doing it, I'd be scared of him, and I will be scared of him.
And I think that's really important as well for your Solly to be just good at jumping, both in game and when you're trying to bomb medics and just get to a place that you need it to be. To be honest, whether your heavy goes down, you want to protect your medic, or your Solly's your demo decides he wants to push up a bit more. Quite useful. BSG of course is based on Team Infinite, I believe, from Sixes. Someone confirm, deny?
Yes, but I think there's only 3 or so players on the current core Sixers team of Infinite.
Yeah, so Infinite's currently Div 2, I believe, so do have pretty good comp experience between them. Hero on Engineer has been playing Engie for a long time. I think he might have been on what was that team called?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard
Did he
about
play?
him that much.
Did he play on Getyam in the first season of UGC?
I'm not too sure, but he was on that team with Vinti and Vendi and Dorky and a few other guys.
Was that Duff?
Duff, that's one. I'm pretty sure he
Really
was on
old school Duff.
Really old school Duff. Duff was one of the probably one of the top Highlander teams when Highlander started in Australia. Since then, they've disbanded, but yeah, Hero's got quite a bit of experience on NG.
Elmo's a solid sniper as well.
Yeah, Elmo's been playing, Sniper Scout for a long time, and I think he played on MGS last season, and they did pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
Any more comments, guys, on this team before moving on? Nope. Sweet.
Nope.
Alright, so next team is Hipsters. I'll go through this one quickly. We got Duck on Scout, Nina on Soldier, Spency on Pyro, Winston on Demo, Chaos on Heavy, Kian Cat on Engineer, Heslade, I think.
Yeah,
Heslade,
Heslade.
sorry.
Yeah.
On Medic, Jurek on Sniper, and Peachy on Spy.
Turok, the alias for Kieran.
Chirok, Chirok is Kieran, for those of you guys that do not know. So Kieran was part of the original Gatsum, runners-up of the first season of Australia-New Zealand's Highlander UGC. And he's just a really strong sniper in general, and scout as well. He's has played Prime a few times. He's definitely one of the standout players, I think, on this team, one a player to watch.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Dork is also a really reliable scout. He's a very good DM and has been playing for a while with these guys, so...
Nina's pretty good too, I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen Nina around. I haven't really heard many of these names though.
Yeah, a few new names, I think. I have seen Chaos quite a few times, and he's a bit of a smoky pick for me. He's the type of
Is
guy...
that one drop of chaos?
No,
That's
it's a
one
different
drop of
one.
Chaos. That's one drop of
No,
Chaos.
there's two different people, Chaos and One Drop of Chaos, both rusted on Hipsters, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm not too sure which Chaos this is, but if it's one drop of Chaos, I think it's a pretty smoky pick. I think he's got a lot of experience of heavy in general, but not too much in comp. If he can kind of understand Highlander a bit more, I think he'd be really effective.
Their engineer is good.
Engineer
Yeah, he's
is
been
good.
around for a long time.
We can talk about engineers from every team now because we just have like 3 engineers sitting in Mumble with us.
Dude, I haven't heard of like any of these players. Like besides Kieran, these are all like way over my head. I have no idea.
I've seen Heslade before, and I think he was playing a Div 6 or 5 soldier in some Sixers team a while ago, but I haven't seen much of him since then, so yeah, he's popped up again here.
I've seen Winston around, but I've never seen him playing demo, so
Yeah, a bit of a
interesting to
hazy
see how that
team,
is.
I think in general could be a wild card for one of your top 3 spots, but
Well,
I guess we'll
they,
know a bit more
yeah.
during the season.
They played last season, and it was a bit of a different roster, but they weren't amazing back then, and I don't expect them to be terribly amazing right now. Probably better though, especially with Kieran sniping now. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, if Dork's good, and if Kieran's good, and Vincent, I'm not too sure about him, but if he's good, I mean, those are 3 classes that can really pick you up in Highlander, your Scout, your Demo, and your Sniper, so depending on how stable those 3 guys are, I know Kieran definitely is really good at Highlander. They could impress, get a couple of wins and plat this season, so it should be good. I'm going to move on to the next team, guys.
No kids here. Watch
No
out.
Kids Here. Ooh, Dramz, could you tell us a bit more about No Kids Here?
Alright, it's pretty much the team about the Nanokip tier pub servers made by Max Payne. And the roster is a bit shaky and changing around, but from what we've got listed here at least, Flux is on Scout, myself on Soldier, Bradiger on Pyro, Lay on Demo Man, Max Payne Heavy, a Tree NG, Nats Medic, Jubs Sniper, and Shredder Spy. I'm not sure if Flux is going to be coming into the season with us due to laptop issues and stuff. And I might be swapping over to Medic myself. I'm not too sure what's happening with the rest of the classes, but in general, it should be kind of similar to what we've got here.
Yeah, so...
Wait, so what's Nats doing?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so in general, I mean, NKH has a pretty big roster because these guys are based off a pretty big community, to be honest. It's more of a community team. NKH along with Plink is probably two of the biggest Australian pub communities. So I think it's more of a bonding session for you guys trying to have some fun as well at the same time, along with trying to win a couple of games along the way. Quite a good some experience in Highlander. So looking through a roster, the ones that stand out is, Dramz, both yourself and Lay played for the best Highlander team in this country. Lay's been on demo for a long time. He's probably one of your most well-known Highlander players, I think, by the amount of pugs and pub he plays is on the
First
same
pick
time.
Lay.
First pick Lay.
I've got a lay bind.
Drums, you have a lay bind, don't you? You can tell us a bit
yes,
more
I
about
do.
that.
Oh man, when I was very new to this, we used to pretty much play Highlander pugs pretty much every night. I was medic all the time, and I would always pick lay first, to the point where I made a bind for it.
So, I'm not too sure about the other guys too much. I know guys like Max, Tree, Nuts, they play a lot of NKH pub together. Shred's probably one person that I'd have an eye out for. Shred's probably one of your top spies in the country at the moment. He will definitely be doing work on NKH, so it's a pretty good pickup for you guys, actually.
Yeah, looks like a really solid one.
We're having some issues finding a spy, but then Shredder joined, so he's been doing pretty well so far on scrims.
Oh yeah, Shred is good. It should be quite. What I'm interested to see is how well you guys go against Anzac, because that's kind of a NKH was Plink sort of game right there. Anzac, of course, hosting a lot of the Plink admins on their team, so that should be a bit of a fun grudge match, I think.
Definitely, it'd be good to watch. They've got some big names on their team like Lay, Shredder, even Jubs is a really good sniper I've seen.
I'm not sure if Jubs is going to be coming into the season, because at the moment he gets back in February sometime from overseas, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to play afterwards. So yeah,
Sounds
more
like you got
roster
a
changes.
really, really shaky roster here.
Yeah, we have a lot of players rostered, so we should be able to make our games, but the core team is a bit shaky.
Yeah, I thought the way that you ran it is that you would basically see who was around and what they wanted to play on the night.
That's generally what happens in scrims, but Max Payne wants a bit more of a reliable 9 players for officials.
Okay.
Bit of a make or break here. I remember you guys at one stage were hoping to get into Steel and kind of win Steel. But now that you are in Platinum, I think you might be taking it a bit more seriously in terms of possibly scrimming every now and again and working out strats and having a consistent team that lines up each week. So should be interesting how you guys go. You definitely have some good experience in there, good players in there, and yeah, should be good. I'll move on to the next team. Alright, so next team here is SBS. Should be studying. Who'd like to go to SBS? Nano, you haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, sure, I'll go over SBS's roster. So, we got Jane on Scout, Gynecologist on Soldier, Earl on Pyro, Benaz on Demo, Verminator on Heavy, currently no Engineer player, Surgeon on Medic, Uber Gamer on Sniper, and Starchy on Spy. SBS is really just another one of those teams that have been in existence in Australian Highlander for quite a long time, and their roster really hasn't seen that many changes over its history, especially Gynecologist, Benaz, Verminator, and Surgeon are players that I remember have been on this team for quite a long time and are actually quite good players in Highlander scene itself.
Wait, where's Farnsworth?
Yeah, he's
gone.
left this season. He's in my team now.
I was going to say, I love this team so much, especially for the fact that him and Jane are actually married. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. A married couple playing in a team together, and they're the nicest people ever. And now I just realized looking at the roster now that he's not on it.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a funny story. I'm pretty sure both Jane and Farnsworth are going to have a bit of a break from Highlander. So Jane said, yeah, I'm going to have a break. And Farns just like, okay, I'll do the same. Jane joins back in SBS. And Farnsy's left.
Wow. Yeah, there's no real big changes here except for the sniper and the scout. That's really the only difference
I
at all.
didn't think Verminator was there last season. Was he? Verminator being one
I'm
of the
I'm
original
pretty sure he
players
was
from Get Some?
there. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he was.
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
I think he was playing
okay.
NG.
He
or
wasn't.
something.
He wasn't Get Some at the very start, back when it was Get Yom, but I think he's been playing on SBS for a while now.
Okay. Definitely one person I'd keep an eye on is Surge. Surge understands Highlander pretty well. He's
Yeah.
I think he's been a medic in every single All-Star medic game, so definitely a pretty good slash underrated medic. Should be pulling the team together quite well. And yeah, just these guys have been playing together for ages. Obviously their chemistry should be really good playing together, so looking to have fun this season, I guess. They've been in UGC since the very beginning.
Good to see Uber Gamer going on sniper. He's definitely a very solid sniper and he's been practicing it for a long time.
Yeah, he's a good scout sniper player, and yeah, he has been around for quite a while, but I haven't seen him on that many teams before this, so it's good to see him getting some more recognition going up into Plat.
Yeah, exactly. You know the team well. He's been one of the players that have been in there for quite a long time as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I'll go to the next team.
Swag YOLO.
Swag YOLO. This is Swag YOLO. Soggy, could you tell us about Swag YOLO?
Absolutely. Every time I talk, it flicks through the slides. On Scout, we've got 3D, tanking on Demo, BM on Medic, Kindra or KGD on Solid on Heavy, Tread on Sniper, King Carl on Pyro, Edit on Engineer, and Dead Dude on Spy.
Is Dead Dude a random Dead Dude, or is that just...
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
I thought so. BM on Medic. Big.
BM
Yeah,
on Medic.
BM is a very solid medic. He's been playing it for a while.
Kingtra's been
You've got
playing
some good
Highlander
names.
in a couple of different teams for the last couple of times. I think he was on Anzac at some stage, or was that... Am I mixing it with the Sixers team?
I think he was on their last season's roster.
Kingdra actually and myself played on... he was actually in the same Highlander team when Highlander started a long time ago, along with Arct and a few other guys. But a few new faces. I think this team is their first season of UGC. I haven't seen too much of them, unfortunately. I've seen Tanking play demo a couple of times, but besides that, I can't give too much of an insight into these guys. They're quite smoky.
They've got some good names, like they've got Tread, Tanking, KGD, 3D. They're all pretty solid players.
Tread, best scout Div 6.
Definitely.
You
Gotta watch out
say
for that.
solid, quite solid as well. Aha, horrible pun, I'm sorry.
This is over.
Oh no. Okay guys, any more comments, or should I just move to the next team?
No, we really don't have anything to say about them because we don't know how they're going to play. I mean, I recognise most of the players, but I've never really seen
Yeah, they
them.
seem like a sort of solid
Yeah.
all-around team, but you never know in UGC what's going to happen.
Especially there's so many different things they could work together. They could have good chemistry, they could have bad chemistry. They could work really well, they could work really horribly, so...
Yeah.
Actually, could someone pull up quickly the preseason results from Monday? How did these guys go compared to some of the other teams that we're not too sure about?
I'll get it. I've got it right here. Give me 1 second. And
Shall we move to the next one while he looks for it?
I think it's updated. The thing isn't updated yet, unless you want to go onto their
Should be
actual
updated.
page.
no, yeah, it's updated. These guys lost to SBS 2-0.
Lost to
on
SBS
Bumblets.
2-0. Okay, and what were the other results?
Hipsters beat Spicy Wizards 2-0, so I guess Spicy Wizards are in there. Let's see, you guys beat 0%, DD did, if you don't know what I mean by you guys. Body Shot Gaming beat NKH 2-0.
No kids here.
No kids here.
And Anzac beat ZD because we forfeited for some reason. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's Spicy Wizards, of course. I was going to cover them today, but I heard that they're kind of moving to Steel, so didn't cover them today. Hipsters. Do you say Hipsters beat
Hipsters beat Spicy Wizards.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, BSG. They're quite strong. They won their match as well. I think they actually came second last season in the terms of most won matches. Didn't do as well as in playoffs as they expected to, but they're quite solid as a lineup. Okay, next team.
Ooh, what's this team full of noobs who have never played Highlander before? I don't recognize anyone here.
Alright, so
It's
for
VD.
those of you guys that don't know, this is my team. This is VD. VD, of course, winning the last 4 seasons of UGC Highlander. I'll go through our lineup quickly. So we've got Disturbed on Scout, Basty on Soldier, Davey on Pyro, Dorky is going to be at Trial for Demo, Jono on Heavy, Angie on Engineer, Vinci on Medic, Dramz is going to Sniper, and Jack on Spy. So quickly before we discuss the team, guys, we've got a couple of changes. We've got more than 5 players either switched roles or have left due to whatever reason from last season. So I'll go through it quickly. Dist is moving to Core Scout again. He's got time to play TF2 and he's back on Core Scouts. That means Drat is going to Core Sniper, which is vacant from JT leaving last season to join SAS. Paulson decided he doesn't have time for TF2, mainly because he lives in Western Australia and he's got a uni and a bit awkward.
Western
with time
Australia
zones.
represent.
So we tried a few demos. Nothing's really worked out so far. So we asked Dorky to come trial demo for us next match. Quite keen to see how he goes because he is quite a strong demo. Jono going to Heavy. Jono, one of the original members of Gatsum. I'm going to make a big call here. I'm going to say Jono is going to be the best Heavy at the end of the season. He's quite good. He's been playing Highlander for about a year, so he really understands what to do. And of course, being a Prem demo doesn't hurt your chances on being good at Heavy.
Thought you'd more go for the demo slot then.
Yeah, we were actually gonna have Jono. I was gonna ask Jono to play demo, except originally we were gonna have Atrocious playing demo. Except Atrocious, of course, for you guys that don't know, he was a backup demo. But he's been offline for the last 2 months, so I kind of expected he'll be back before UGC. It didn't turn out that way, so just looking at a couple of options right now. Giant going to Sniper, and probably the biggest loss of VD is myself. I am no longer Core Spy, unfortunately, due to my spontaneous work commitments and finishing uni already. So Jack will be taking over Core Spy this season, and
Yeah. Are
that's
you
our
coming
roster.
back?
I'd love to
After
come back, man,
finish?
but I don't really have too much time, unfortunately, due to night calls with UK, America, and all that sort of stuff. So it's would be nice to be playing, but at the same time, I'll be there as a backup if these guys ever need me. A lot of experience in there, so they should be good.
Will you still be like leading the team somewhat, or
No, man. So pretty much Davey and Jack are both co-captains. They should be. They'll be organizing matches, getting people on, and all that sort of stuff. So if you guys want to scrum us, talk to Davey or Jack. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be good. You guys looking for a 5th win in a row?
Hoping for a 5th win. A few changes. Probably the biggest boost for us, to be honest, is just back on Scout. He's just insane at this game. He's
yeah.
he's just
Yeah.
he's just really good on Scout. Was such a big boost for us in the first season of UGC. Since then, didn't have too much time for TF2, but he is back now. The rest of the guys, like Basty, Davey, NG, Vinty, they've been playing for ages in VD, so they know what to do. Drat's a pretty strong sniper. Jack, I have my faith in him that he'll be one of the top spies this season. He's quite good, and Doki should be interesting to see how he goes on demo. I mean, he's played with Vinty for ages, so they have pretty good chemistry between them.
It's cool to see Drat on Sniper. I know he used to be an awesome demo man back when he played for Bad Karma and Sixes. And I believe he even backed up for IM at one stage as demo. And I'm pretty sure this season he's having an off season playing Scout. And looks like he's getting into Sniper as well, which is good to see.
Yeah, Drat's I think the last time Drat played Sniper for us was against when we played Musitech, and he outsniped Shrek that game, so not bad at Sniper. He's quite keen to play the class, so yeah, just going with it really. He's got a lot of experience of comp, and he can click on heads pretty good.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Alright guys, any more comments on VD before moving on to the last team?
Hype.
Hype.
Edge for a big comeback in 2015.
2015
Hashtag.
comeback.
Yep.
Edge will transfer to NA and make his comeback.
Oh yeah, if I ever go to NA, I'll definitely play Highlander.
I'll see you on Murder Force 9K.
I'll be there. I'd be really keen to see if we can get some sort of. I was talking to Max and Valen about a week ago about a possibility of getting like Mexican server and not Mexican server, sorry, a Hawaiian server, and playing possibly a 120 ping aside Highlander match. Haven't discussed much further besides that, but I'd love to see an Australian versus North American game, whether it's like VD versus whoever, or just in Australia in general versus America. I think it'll be quite interesting.
Yeah, is that the same sort of thing? I'm pretty sure IM did that against some overseas teams before they went to I-49 and stuff.
I think, yeah, they said that they never had any experience with them before, though. I think I heard them say that in an interview. But, you know.
Yeah, I think I am playing with about 200 ping, which I think it's playable. From my experiences with Dramz on Californian MVM servers. But it's probably not ideal for comp too much. But if it does happen, I mean, we're keen to play. So if an American's watching this and knows of a Hawaiian server or keen to play us with 200 ping, let me know. Alright, so next team, which is our last team for tonight, is Zero Dark, ZD. Star, could you tell us about these guys?
My excellent team naming skills were involved here. ZD, yep, my idea. No one on Scout at the moment. Ben's playing Solly again. That's, you know, good, because good Solly. Theo is playing Pyro again. Realm's playing Demo again. Hell's playing Heavy again. Fox playing Engineer again. Locke's moving to Medic. And Frosty's playing Sniper again. And Shadow or Alice or Spontaneous or many other aliases which he likes to use on a daily basis is playing Spy again.
Sweet, so Star, you used to be on this team, man. I actually did not know you left until I actually created this team sheet, so no longer in ZD.
What was the question, sorry?
I used to play for these guys, man. Just not playing for them anymore.
Yeah, we had some roster things going on. We still do have some roster things going on. Obviously, we don't have a Scout at the moment. And there's some things going on at the moment with the team. Not really sure what our future is at this point because of some issues. I'm not really going to get into it. We're still looking for a Scout as well. Yeah. I mean, if we're still around in the season, I'm sure we're going to be pretty, good and excited and happy for the season and everything. And I just don't know how it's going to go right at this moment. I don't want to say anything bad or give anyone any ideas, but yeah. Well, assuming that we are still around for the season, it's looking pretty good.
Well, hopefully you guys do stick around for this season. You've had quite a bit of success the past couple of seasons. Some pretty big names in there as well. I've realized recently that Mental Realm, the demo, along with Disturbed, our scouts, made the Sixers team together. So the other scout on that team is Smiley Town, coincidentally, who is your backup scout right now. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Smiley does come to court. Presuming he's got the exact same match schedules as the other guys. So that might be an option for you guys. But besides that, you've been around for a long time. My pick of players to watch would be Mental Realm. He's a pretty insane demo. We've been playing Prem for a long time. And he does a lot of work for you guys.
For me personally, these guys are, as I'm not, like, I don't want to go ahead and say that you guys are going to get beaten or anything, because it's probably not going to happen, but I would say if anyone has the most potential in the country to beat VD, apart from possibly 0%, I would say it's these guys, honestly. Just from playing with them and talking to them, they're just, you know.
Yeah, I reckon they'll easily be top 5, maybe top 3 team at the very least. They've got a pretty strong roster, they've been together for ages.
It was really unfortunate for us last season. Things kind of fell apart at the end, and just people were busy and couldn't make matches and things like that, and it ended up being that we had to forfeit one of our semi matches just because we couldn't get people. And yeah,
Definitely,
That's
you
no
guys
good.
are committed though. I think, like as you were saying earlier, you love Arctic as a team. You were quite confident you guys could beat us in Arctic, and I think one of the Oz HL matches a really long time ago, you were actually winning 3-0 before VD came back to make it 4-3. So
yeah, it was 3-0 up, and we were feeling pretty good about it, and then Disturbed just decided that he was going to two-shot me and no one else, and yeah, I don't know what happened there. Maybe
Was
we
that the
choked.
game where you went down a player?
Uh,
As in, like, VD, like, lost a player. Like,
I'm
NG
pretty
couldn't
sure
join
I did.
back.
actually, I think
Yeah.
our engineer was down for like the first 3 rounds. I think NG.
That's right, and then I joined for one round as, like, an absolute emergency. And I got kicked out when when he came back.
I wasn't there that game. I don't remember playing that. I think Shred might have been playing Spy for us that game.
That was Jack.
Was it Jack? Jack was
Yeah.
on Spy that game. But yeah, this just clicks on and Koth. He sits around like pretty much payload, just pushing your cart, providing support. You chuck him on Koth, he just goes into a next gear. I remember that time he got 7 DOMs against Anzac. He just is a DM machine.
ZD is a very solid team, like you said, you've got Mental Realm who just does heaps of work. I think I versed ZD on a Koth map once and he got like 15k damage and he did so much work, it was crazy.
He treats
It's just
Highlander.
everywhere.
He treats Highlander like playing a pub. That's all it is to him. He doesn't treat it like an actual competition. I tell him, or I did tell him when I was playing Medic, like last season and the season before that, you know, stay close to me, get heals, and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna kill everything, and he would. He doesn't care. Treats it like a pub.
Sort of a Cindy style of playing demo. He just like Cindy as well. He just plus forwards into people and then starts killing them. It's only against when you guys play against probably a more strat wise team that it's easy to shut down the demo. And if he is plus forwarding, but against probably possibly some of the lower teams on plat, he's just going to do a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a team that's been together for a long time, like SBS and Anzac and VD and stuff.
I think that's something that you can take away from like this whole thing is that, you know, if you're a team that's just starting out and you're not doing so well in your first season, don't give up on it, because you can see the teams that stick around and they stay together. And even if you drop a few players, you know, if you got players that can stick around and you keep the same team for a few seasons, you can go a long way.
And that's the thing, because you're not only getting Sixers experience, sorry, pilot experience, your players are getting experience from just basic pub, from pugs, from Sixers, just developing individually on classes, and you come back together and you put that together as a team, and you really do improve over time, so it's always good to stick around. I know, like, I think you guys' first season came like 11th or something.
I think we tied 9th with like
Ninth?
4 other teams. Yeah.
And then I think the season after you came like 4th or something like that. You just gradually climbing the ladder, so that's quite good to see.
Yeah. I mean, most of them coming out of pubs too, and we're not really picking up any competitive players until like the last few seasons with Realm and Frosty. You know, everyone else is straight out of Dust Bowl pubs, really. So
Dramz could tell us all about Dust Bowl.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
these
where all
people
the
play as
special
much as
guys
me, honestly.
Yeah, so that was the last team, guys. I'm gonna quickly go back to the initial slide. Yeah, I hope you guys listening have a slightly better insight into the teams that are playing in Platinum this season of UGC Australia New Zealand. It should be a pretty good season. I'm looking forward to seeing how a lot of these teams do perform because they're quite close in terms of potential and their players and their experiences in some cases as well. It's just going to be a case of who wants to win more, to be honest. So before going, do you guys have any last words to say or comments about Season 12 or Highlander before we do shoutouts?
Good luck.
Probably going to be the best season yet. By far.
yeah. More worthwhile games to cast this time, just because there's an actual division for the teams that have been around for a while. So
I think the
like
division's great. I mean,
Yeah.
you got teams that are going to be really close up in plat, and then you got the guys in the lower div as well for steel. I mean, you don't want to get demolished by teams week in, week out. It's nice for them to play against teams kind of their level, because at least that way, when you're playing against people your level, you tend to improve a lot more instead of playing against guys that obviously have a lot more experience in Highlander than you.
Yeah, it's just nice that the Highlander community in Australia and New Zealand has progressed as far as it has to the fact that we have divisions in a league that is like a worldwide league, you know. So
It's good to see so much participation this season. So many more teams, it's great.
It really has grown since the first season, and I think a lot more people are getting into it, especially in the whole pugs, especially with TF2 Centre coming out as well. A lot of pugs coming out in Australia, and over time I think there will be a lot more teams that will pop up in UGC. Right now you have a lot of players that are just keen to get into Highlander, keen to get into teams, but not quite in teams right now. But when more teams kind of happen and people kind of find players that work well to play against, or play with, we should be seeing a really strong scene in the next couple of seasons to come.
yep.
Yep, so I guess we'll do shoutouts quickly and we'll wrap it up, guys. I got no idea how long this has been, but hopefully it hasn't been too long for you guys. Dramz, any shoutouts?
Shout out to Nanokip tier servers. And that's about it from me.
That's about it. No shout out to your MVM bots or anything, Drums?
Nah.
No? You over
I
MVM
hate
now?
them. Kill them all over
Kill
again.
them all. Lovely. No, shout outs, man.
I'd like to shout out to Edge for doing this and being a cool team leader. I'd like to shout out to Tonberry, legendary player, and I'd like to shout out to Ampersand for getting me into Highlander in the first place.
Sweet. Nice.
That's it.
Shout out to my team, Royal Flush. All the No Kids here, servers, Edge for putting this all together. And just everyone in the season, good luck and have fun.
Yeah, just on that comment real quickly. Royal Flush, I'm quite keen to see how you guys do go in Steel. I think you have a genuine chance of winning Steel. Cause
Yeah,
you
we're
guys,
giving it a nudge.
yeah, you have some pretty good players on there. That are good in their classes, and if you can mesh together. I know Welcome was talking to me about putting a team together just 2 weeks ago, and you've been up and running quite quickly, so that's good to see.
Yeah, I
Pretty
mean, we
good
picked
players
up
in there.
Fans from SVS, which is really good. I think he went like 80-3 or something when we scrimmed, which is just ridiculous. He's roaming heavy, and yeah, it just seems like we're all doing really well.
Sweet. Sog?
Shout out to New Kids here servers.
Don't
Shout
forget Thermal
out to...
Take.
Oh yeah, shout out to Thermal Take.
Proud sponsors of Soggy Bread.
Only if I get like 850 more subs.
Go and sub to Soggy Bread's YouTube channel so she can get
What was it?
sponsored.
Was it like, subscribe, comments? That's a slogan. Guys,
No.
like,
anyways,
subscribe, comment, leave me a link in the link below. That's alright.
But yeah, shout out to everyone. Good luck in the season coming. I wish you all to win and take down VD. Take them off their high horse and stomp them.
Good luck.
I prefer Ivory Tower. It's a nice view from up here. Star, any shoutouts?
Oh gosh, I feel like I have a really long list of shoutouts. Where do I start? Shout out to Zero Dark, who are some of the best people that I've ever had the fortune of meeting, and just great guys to talk to, great guys to play with. Who else? All you guys here for being here and being part of the community, producing podcasts, producing content for the Australian New Zealand Tier 2 community, for the UGC admins and the people who run the whole site and the league, and those guys are working really hard so that we can enjoy ourselves. People on OzFortress as well, even though that's not what this is about, but you know, they run leagues too and they do so much work, and running the servers and forums and all that sort of stuff. And who else? I could name a bunch of people, but you know who you are. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Awesome. Quickly for me, shout out to all the admins on both UGC and OzFortress for all the Highlander and Sixes competitions as well you've been producing the past couple of years. It's been really fun and enjoyable to play. Shout out to both the Plink and NKH communities, probably the house of a lot of upcoming Highlander players, so that's been quite good what you guys have been doing. Shout out to my team VD, 5th straight. Nano, let's hear it, man.
Never forget.
Never forget, VD for life.
Nice.
Nice. Shout out. I lost it now. Shout out to my 16 Pump House. Hopefully we kind of do stuff this season as well. I'll be back after them as well. But yeah, shout out to you guys as well. Thanks for coming along and just going through this podcast, providing insights, going through stuff. It was good. I've had fun. It was a good overview. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, I got a couple more shoutouts I just remembered. If that's okay. Is that okay?
Too
that?
Popular, man.
Go for it, man. We got go for it.
Shout out to the right boys for winning Div 5 out of 10. Thanks to the bunnies specifically for driving me so hard to be a not so terrible medic. Also to everyone in the WA TF2 community and the guys that we always see at RF LAN, because those guys are awesome and we have the best time there as well. And I think that's it.
Sweet.
Oh, also some other people in Unicycle.
I would just say
yeah.
shout out to everyone. Just everyone in the entire world. We covered
Everyone.
it. We covered
Why
it.
not? I
We
know
love
so
you
many
all.
We
people.
love you all. Alright guys, thank you for listening. Hopefully I can get another podcast soon. If not, you'll see me around. Even if I'm not playing Highlander, I'll pop in here and there every couple of weeks. But yeah, it's been fun. Have a great season. Good luck, and here's for a good season 12.